This cryptid case file was submitted by a man's child who witnessed his father's unfortunate unraveling weeks before his father passed away. This man grew up sleeping in literal graveyards. He was basically raised on the street. He was well known as being a fearless individual until the night he saw two children staring at him through his bedroom window and they were calling his name. Before the actual incident took place, some background information is definitely important. So the man at the center of this account grew up in pretty much the harshest type of environment that you can pretty much think of. He would live nomadically, and like I mentioned prior, he slept in literal graveyards. He slept at bus stops. He slept at abandoned buildings. Basically anything that you can think of. He was homeless as a child. This type of childhood made him into a fearless adult. He tried to teach his children to not fear anything because whatever obstacle you are facing, you can always have worse. He was known to be someone who absolutely never panicked, and he handled all situations as calmly as possible, and he was someone that pretty much everybody in this particular family depended on. That is why this event, which took place in 2012, was so disturbing to his family. The event takes place after midnight, and this person who wrote into me said that their father woke them up. They basically woke up the whole family. And he thought that his two children, so this person has a sibling, he thought they were outside and staring at them, them meaning him and his wife, through their bedroom window. They were dressed in all white clothing, and he could hear them. He could hear them audibly calling his name. This scared him, seeing his kids outside, and he went outside to check and saw nothing. Obviously, no one was outside, and it really upset him, especially when he went inside because he saw his two kids were asleep. At first, he and his whole family just kind of dismissed the whole thing and thought maybe he was having some sort of weird like sleepwalking situation or even sleep paralysis. But these types of sightings, they continued. The man claimed that these same two children appeared to him over and over and over. They were always dressed the same, but it got to the point of where they were calling him and even gesturing him to come to them. He could always hear his name being called, and there was a type of really scared feeling. That is what actually really started to disturb his family. This is coming from a man who grew up homeless and slept in cemeteries, and he was absolutely just frightened. I mean, to the point of where he didn't even want to go to sleep at night. Sadly, in April of that year, this man actually took his life. The person who wrote into me said days after this event happened, there was a bird, right where supposedly these two kids would stand, where his dad said he would see them, and it was deceased and its head was broken and turned back. Almost like a bad omen kind of thing. Obviously, years have passed since this has happened, but this person asked me if I thought maybe he was actually experiencing some sort of hallucination. He did mention to me that his father did do drugs when he was a kid. Maybe it was some sort of effect from that, or if he was actually experiencing some sort of maybe demonic activity. I don't know. Maybe, in my opinion, I think sometimes addictions are actually connected to certain types of demonic activity. But in your opinion, what do you think this man was experiencing? I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. And again, thank you so much for listening.